Hello, everybody. Welcome to our little Game of the Year podcast thingamajig. We've been doing this, I think, for about 3 or 4 years
Too
at this point. I think
I think
something
I
like
think
Well,
since, like, 2019.
yeah, I want to say something
well, it's
like
been
that.
mostly have posted on Tevi's channel, but he died, so
Yes, I did indeed die.
quiet,
Quiet, Tevi. We're speaking about Tevi.
I guess technically it's been going since my countdown days, but for those of you no, we definitely did have one last year. I definitely remember because
Oh yeah, we have one every we have one every year.
yeah, they just usually haven't been archived a lot of the time, mostly because they kind of go on a little long. But that's beside the point.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you have never been part of one of these before, the idea is that we do like to do a game of the year thing, but we normally don't end up always playing brand new hot releases, so we instead do it as game we played this year kind of deal for a top 5 from everybody on that. Our only real rule is that you had to play it for the first time this year, and if it's just kind of like a normal HD port, that doesn't count or anything like that. If you played it before or stuff like that, if there's enough you feel to make it different, then on that. But yeah. So with me tonight, I have Jason, Ace, and
Hi.
Teve. I believe Chris and Stefan are going to be joining with us. Maybe some other people. I don't know if they're. I
Mhm.
messaged a few people seeing if they're going to join us or not.
Yeah, I
Tevi,
think, I
I've decided to become a junker.
good for you.
Shout out to
I
Sophie in the chat.
Yeah, shout out to Sophie in the chat. I do believe Chris might have church stuff until later, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure how long he's gonna
Yeah,
be.
so, these
And
tend to go
then
on a little long. I said that he's probably gonna be about an hour late. I'll just say for him to read his numbers and, when he gets to whatever point we're at when he joins in for that, so
yeah, yeah.
alright. So, yeah, I guess, just work our way, from the call, top to bottom, probably? Uh,
Oh, I'm bottom bitch this year. Alright.
Can we stop with dishonorable bitches? Because we only have one.
no, I wanna do dishonorable mentions before our, around the time of our honorable mentions, I think. Over
Yeah, I
How
think
we
that I
usually
think that'll
start
be
with
a good.
honorable mentions, or do we just go straight
Well,
into
no,
it?
I usually do we usually do honorable mentions before, after number
Usually we do,
2
yeah.
kind of deal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
that way it can clue people in a little easier. What's the number one at that point?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll start with mine. So my number 5, there were like I want to say like 4 different RPGs all fighting for this spot on here because my year was a battle on the 4 and 5 spot. But ultimately, it I was thinking of which one I wanted to replay most out of all of them, and that ended up for SMT 5 being my number 5.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we finished that this year.
yes, we did. We did. You were there for
God, I wish we
that.
brought more people into that call for most of that playthrough.
But
I got, because like it or not, SMT is 5 was not a good game to bounce 2 people off of.
yeah, but
We-
in terms of the actual game, though, SMT 5 I think was a great introduction for me into that series proper to there. Mostly it's on here for the exploration was good and stuff like that. It's on here mostly for the combat.
yeah.
It is such a well-oiled machine by this point, SMT 5, that like there's so many different builds that you can do. The amount of customization you have is great. And I think the big thing for me, because I've been playing a lot of RPGs that I felt like I've been able to break too easy, that does not happen with SMT5. Even if you have a well planned strategy, shit can go foobar in all of a matter of a second, and now you have to adapt on the fly and figure out, okay, how am I going to recover from this all of a sudden? And that makes for really engaging combat throughout the entire game onto that. I've really been thinking about going in for another round of it. I would say the big thing holding it back, I think, is the story for me on this one. I know SMT is usually regarded more for gameplay first and then story, but I just wish there was a bit more to
Yeah,
latch on to.
yeah, 5 has a lot less story than other even mainline games. The lore there is interesting, they just don't do a lot with it.
Yeah, so that's the thing holding it back, but I really did enjoy my time with SMT
Y
5, and
yeah. I
that
feel like you would if you want a recommendation, I'd recommend either Digital Devil Saga or the Devil Survivor games. Digital
mm,
Devil Saga, since they follow the same press turn system as 5.
Mhm.
Or if you want to go more your Fire Emblem routes, go for Devil Survivor.
All right. So next up, Jason, you're number 5.
Uh, so the fight for number 5 is like the fight this year was number 5, and number 5 was like I kind of switched it around with other things, and then when I decided, I just switched it around for number 4 because I had to. I was like, all right, you're there. I gotta switch. So my number 5 is Sonic Frontiers.
Hey.
Oh, okay, let's tag team this. It was my 5 as well. Time to shoot the blue block. Time to shoot the
All
blue
right,
asshole.
let's go.
Yeah, okay. So we said this a lot as we were playing the game. This is like something that me and Wobot were saying to like each other. Like Sonic Frontiers is like a 6 or 7 out of 10 game that I love, like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 game.
Yeah.
Because like I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this game. I technically 100% of this game like 3 times in a row.
Twice with mods.
Like I did my normal ones. I did my first playthrough was getting like all the achievements. I got that. Then my second playthrough was getting every single thing on the map.
You're a
God.
madman, by the way.
I stopped that shit after World 2 because I wasn't doing jack all.
I did it. I got everything. And then my third playthrough was with mods, where I just all right, let's break this game as much as possible.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Dun.
Yeah, the stuff I like about Sonic Frontiers, I really like. I overall like the characterization. I do like the switch. I do like the switch to like the switch to open zones. I really like the music, but it's a Sonic game, so it's a mainline Sonic game, so that's a given. I really like Super Sonic in this game. I
God, this is the-
really like those boss fights.
This
Those
is the
boss
cool-
fights are all about style. Some people would say that there's more style, the substance to those fights, and
Me.
I will just say, yeah, that's because the style is the substance. It's the substance. If that style did like a lot for me, like when I go to like the first Super Sonic fight, Sonic transforms, and then the music kicks in and he descends in front of Giganto, and like the biggest smile came across my face, just went yes.
Raw,
Yes.
raw,
Yes.
raw, Tito, goat, swag.
So you had never heard of Peak Fiction.
Peak fiction, baby!
And like I did like going around doing all like the challenges and collecting things on the island. That means that being said, there are like I do have like some my issues with Frontiers. Like Big the Cat can break the game in half when you actually
Yeah.
if you go out of your way to do so. I think island number 3 for me is the worst island of the game. Cause like it's too big and navigation could be could be like a hassle. The final boss of this game just kind of air all fronts, because when you get the true final boss, you need to play it on hard. You need to play on hard mode. And while that final boss as a challenge it offers more of like a gameplay challenge, the more you think about it, the more you just go, and it's been like over a month, so I can just say this. Is this a giant rock, dude? I'm just shooting a giant rock over and over again until it dies.
Game, so, you know.
Yeah, it is the best boss. It is the best boss. It is the best boss of the game. But
Oh, I have words.
but when you come from the supersonic fights, and then you go to this, you just got it is a downgrade, even though it's the most gameplay sound boss in the game. But if you don't do that, and you just beat the game on regular difficulty, then the final Titan fight sucks too. Like it's just Giganto, but he's just Giganto. He went to the store to get himself some drip. Except his drip sucks.
Except now he has a gun. It doesn't do much.
It really doesn't do much. But I still really like Frontiers.
Ace, you want to chime in on your stuff?
Alright, so... let's see. Start with open world. Oh my god. Just flowing There's a certain thing I like to mention a bit when it comes to just playing a game: flow. Sonic flows so good in the open world. Well, just going from one obstacle course to another, like using bits and pieces from one course to slingshot to the end of another. That's so good.
That is
But
really fun.
ugh, like speedrunners are already having a field day with this game. Amen. But yeah, the cyberspace levels most of the time are fine. I just have like maybe 2 to 3 major critiques for the cyberspace levels. One, Sonic just needs some better control. He maybe up his speed a little bit and make it so he doesn't have like a 45-degree turn radius.
Like
Because
his air control sucks.
yeah, his air control sucks. Anytime I have to backtrack for a red ring, it's like, nope, that's that's dead right there. Ugh. I fell off the side of the end of Green Hill, like the first one, tried to go back for a red ring.
Oh, you poor fuck.
Oops.
Yeah. Secondly, they need better level theming. Like, describing these by like level numbers has made it so hard to figure out this is the level I'm talking about. They need like more unique level themes,
I feel like
please.
the only level, the cyberspace level that you can say to people, they just go, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about," and you say 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, I have
1-2.
1-2 Steam playing right now.
Yeah, 1-2 level, I think, is the only cyberspace level you can just go, "Oh, that level."
Yeah, it's like I like 2-2. Which one is that? That's the Green Hill level. Which Green Hill level?
Okay, what is it? Yeah. The supersonic bosses, yeah, raw Kino goat swag, raw. Like, yeah, music. Overall, maybe a lesser Sonic soundtrack, but they went for the Black Knight approach and just shotgunned out like 5 or 6 vocal themes, themes which are all great. It, let's see.
Oh yeah,
Story,
Sage.
yeah,
Gotta talk about Sage.
yeah, great new addition, and and got a nice little Shadow-esque story arc where it's just good story arc over one game. Although luckily they pulled the trigger on, we can bring her back just right away. Hey, I hope they still do her fine. Hopefully she doesn't fall into the shadow pit in later games. I hope.
Let's bring
But
her back, and then retcon her backstory, and then retcon the backstory again.
yeah, yeah. I know we've said this for like the 5th time when it comes to Sonic, but this is a good stepping stone. Please keep going this direction. Don't abandon this. I like it. But yeah, unfortunately, when it came to open world games, competition was kind of steep this year. So unfortunately, Sonic only made number 5. I'm done.
Jason, you're echoing a little on your mic for headphones stuff. Just a heads up.
Sorry.
So moving on. Tevi, you're number 5.
Oh right. So Zelda didn't come out this year, so if
So the shit year
so
you're
everything
talking about.
yeah, so this year fucking blew. I actually didn't have any games of the year. No. So my number 5 was Pokemon Legends Arceus or Arceus, excuse me. So earlier this year I was not planning on picking this game up at all, but the 3 assholes in this call and like
Hi.
5 of our friends were just playing the game, going through it, and I'm like, damn it. So I bought the game on impulse, and
We never told you to
I'm
buy
so
the
glad that
game.
I did. I know you didn't, but uh, I bought the game on impulse, and I don't regret that decision at all. I had a lot of fun with this one. As somebody who has not played a Pokemon game since Gen 2 and the Gen 2 remakes, um, this is a really nice title to get back into the series. I love the concept of just you're able to just go around in these areas and just collect Pokemon anywhere. You don't like you do not have to fight Pokemon if you do not want to. You could just run out, throw balls everywhere and grab a shit ton of them. Um and just like it got me so immersed in that. I thought the story was good. The ending was a little bit disappointing for me, just because I don't think they really went far enough with it. Um, and like like it's not the best looking Switch game, but for a Pokemon game, it looks pretty damn spectacular to me.
Wait, So, Tevi, are you trying to tell me that you would not invest in a story where a little kid was just chilling on his bed? It's a Friday night. He's on TikTok, and then God said, then God yoinked him and sent him back in time to solve an issue?
Don't worry, you get a free iPhone. God.
Yeah. I get a free iPhone case. Whoopty fucking do.
Yeah, RCS for me is definitely in the same kind of boat of Sonic Frontiers. It's like it is a good example. It is not quite there yet, but I want to
Not-
see them
yeah.
build on this foundation kind of deal.
Yeah. Took the words right out of my mouth. Like, this was a great step of where I want to see Pokemon go. They just need, not the mobile game, but they just need a little bit of tweaking to make this really good. And I'm hoping that when I eventually get the Scarlet and Violet, because I am going to pick one of those up soon, that is kind of where they went with it.
I can confirm that they did. They took a lot of cues from Legends.
Good. As far as like, I think like my biggest complaint with Arceus is the open areas. They're pretty big, but I don't think there's enough distinguishable landmarks. Like, I'm not, in the context of the story, yeah, this is the region in its early days, so there's not going to be many settlements. But even then, you could have like some ruins or uh feel like more places where Pokemon gather, and like just you don't make them so flat. Like a couple of them are pretty damn flat. But that's like really my only major issue with it, and the fact that I went out of my way to collect over 400 of these damn Pokemon during this game, I think it kind of shows how much I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's my number 5.
All right. So now moving on to our number 4s at this point. So for number 4, I kind of cheated a little bit on mine. They're both in the same genre, and I was trying to debate between them. I felt like it was just easier to pair them up for kind of similar reasons. So
Boy.
my number 4 is both Splatoon 3 and Fortnite.
God damn it.
Hear me out.
All right.
There was a Fortnite virus in
Okay,
this
so
fucking Discord.
you can blame the Goku for that, okay?
God.
But yeah, for Splatoon 3, I wasn't that interested in the initial lineup, and then Tevi, no, not Tevi, Jason and ED really got me back in my Splatoon mood. And when I started playing it, it was like I was playing Splatoon 1 again, and that addiction came back immediately. I think the game grabbed me a lot more than 2 did at launch. It's weird because Splatoon 3 is definitely just more refinements on it than actually adding a whole lot of new stuff throughout. But the fact that is, I think now my 5th most played Switch title at this point, I put a lot of time into it this year throughout, and yeah, no, it's great. I do think some stuff can be improved. Like, I think Big Run could have a little bit more, and I think there needs to be some better maps on there. But I'm having so much fun throughout it. I just hope they keep this momentum going throughout, and I've seen myself playing this for a very long time now.
Remember when we were excited for Mahi Mahi Resort?
Good times. Good times. And then the other one,
Why?
okay, so I technically played a day of Fortnite way long ago when it first came out, and I just was not into it. And then the rumors of Goku came out, and I was like, okay, let's just try again for one time just to see. Oh no, I'm having fun.
Well, like before that, there was another big thing that finally got me into Fortnite, and I
The
think
no
got
build.
a lot of us. Yeah, a lot of us got us back. into
That's the
Fortnite. It was
reason I
no
put
build.
it on this list, is because no build completely transformed that game, and now it is actually fun, and all of its elements get to shine at last. I feel like it's a game I could keep playing for long portions of time, and still have fun. I think definitely what makes it the most fun though is getting a group of 4 people and just acting like complete morons in the middle of a match, doing the most stupid shit possible.
Because like Fortnite encourages it too, because you go into the store and they just have like some ridiculous like emotes and skins that you could just buy. That you could just buy. So the game is just like fully embracing. Yeah, goof off, have fun, just go out there.
It's weird because I used to always shit on Fortnite, and I feel like for really no reason in the past, other than just it was the popular game and it just wasn't really to my taste. But yeah, no, now I've kind of converted sort of. I have a lot of fun with the game now throughout it. I think it was my most played PS5 game throughout the entire year on that.
Yeah,
Now,
it
whether
was,
that
it
says
was,
more
it
about
was
the
mine too.
PS5 or Fortnite is up to you on that. But since both of the games were kind of filling the same niche, I put both of them onto there. So yeah,
That's very fair. That's very fair.
yeah. So,
Goku getting into Fortnite though.
Oh, that was a fucking time.
Now we truly have Jump Force 2.
I mean, what
Yeah,
we,
they
we,
do.
we are
We
we are
got-
just waiting for Luffy, and then it is truly.
Yeah,
at
because
that
then we
point.
got Goku, we got Goku, we got Dragon Ball, My Hero, and Naruto in the game.
One Piece is a matter of time.
Dude,
One
I
Piece-
Oh,
just-
One Piece is
we need One Piece
real.
in here, we need Bleach in here.
I can't wait to see Monkey D. Luffy get shot in the face with a shotgun.
Or like also Chainsaw Man could be in here.
Oh
But,
shit!
Alright.
Jason, you're number 4.
Alright. So the only reason this game is my number 4 is not because I like it more than Sonic, but because and I like more than Sonic because I had to be to steal something for ED. I had to be real to myself. It's a better game than Sonic Frontiers, Kirby Forgotten Land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I'm a way bigger Sonic fan than I am a Kirby fan. Like here, I dabbled in Kirby every now and then, but I never just went, yeah, Kirby, that's cool. But Forgotten Lands got announced, and like Pat, Kevy, Safon, ED, Warbot, all the Kirby fans was like, Forgotten
here.
Lands, it's 3 and
But
Ace.
Forgotten Land is real.
Like, it's 3D Kirby! Oh my goodness, the gods have spoken! We finally have 3D Kirby! And then I just went, okay, fine, I'll give Forgotten Land a shot. Okay, okay.
My God.
I played it and I 100%ed it. Like Pat was there, we saw me do True Arena, and I laid out the secret boss with ice. That fight took a while, but you couldn't touch me. But yeah, real talk. Taking Kirby into like the third dimension because it's like a little bit worrying. Because while that is like a cool idea on paper, it's more so if the execution wasn't solid, it could have been like it could have easily been like a 6 out of 10 adventure. Unfortunately, they managed to take everything that makes Kirby work and transition it really well into the 3D space. So I actually did find the game to be fun because like what gives the game like that extra edge and what can make it more challenging for other players is actually going for 100% and getting all like the optional stuff. Because uh and like the power ups in this game, I believe they were lower than there is in your typical Kirby
There's
game.
about as much as there were in like Dark Matter trilogy and stuff like that. Like about 8 to 10, something like that. Pretty small for a Kirby game.
Yeah. But they make up for it by having all the power ups actually be upgradable. Which I did like. They gave Kirby a gun. Finally, this pink pup pop was rocking an AK-47.
Yo,
He's coming after, and he's coming after you. But like a lot of the power ups were fun. I actually did like the overall like aesthetic of Kirby Forgotten Land. It was just like a really fun game. I think in total it took me like 30 hours to do everything. But it's a very solid Kirby game. Don't know how it rates in comparison to all the other Kirby games. That's for these guys to figure out. but
I
it
put
was
it
a
in
really
robot.
it's a really fun game.
I put it in Robobot tier.
I put it as probably second best in the series for me right now. But Ace, your number 4.
All right, number 4 was the open world game that beat out Sonic Frontiers. Just Pokemon Legends Arceus. Yeah, just I had to look at objectively. This was a better game than Frontiers, which is weird because Arceus kept being throughout the year the game of. Oh yeah, that came out this year.
I mean,
Oh
to be
fuck,
fair,
that came out this.
it was January, so to be
Yeah,
fair,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was January, and just banger after banger after banger kept getting shotgunned out. So, but looking at it, like it's just very solid. Like one of the most solid Pokemon games I've played in a while. Oh, and like, yeah, open world and stuff is just nice to explore. Just go out, just catch Pokemon, go, do it. There's like, it just constantly gives you the nice little dopamine of like, okay, sneak up against a strong Pokemon, huck, catch, bam, got it, yeah. like, like there was something fun about just, oh hey, that's a big alpha. I'm gonna just sneak up behind it, throw a ball, catch. It didn't work. Get back to the grass. Okay, and just rinse and repeat until it works. I like the locales. Obviously a graphical boost is needed a bit, but and though performance-wise, it did decent compared to other games in the series, which is kind of important for an open world game. Storyline was decent. Definitely picks up at the end of both the main story and the post game. I love the big boss fights you have, like at the end of each story
Mhm.
chapter. My favorite being the one at the end of the ice area and the post game one. Those were my favorites because they kicked my fucking ass.
That ice one was like the first fight in that game that you go, oh wait, snap a challenge, oh snap a
Oh,
challenge.
oh snap! This game built different.
Oh god, I have to put an effort.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
I
like,
gotta
this-
time my dodges.
Like this game kicked my ass pretty hard, consistently. Which a challenge in a Pokemon game? Hallelujah! But I need to give extra mention to the right before the end of the post game boss. This asshole has equivalent to 8 Pokemon. My God, and it might be. I live for masochistic Pokemon challenges like that. and like catching all. I caught all the Pokemon. I filled out that goddamn Pokedex, and it was worth it. It's for that last boss. But yeah, overall, great game. Overall critiques are yeah, maybe more landmarks in the open world. There's definitely some jank to figure out. How to, and better drip. Giving more customization options. Where are my fucking kimonos? You missed a goddamn opportunity here. But yeah, just solid, very solid. I'm looking forward to Scarlet and Violet.
Real quick, did the audio cut off for anyone else? According to Robot Chat, is the audio still fine for you?
Is audio still what? It looks fine on my end, so okay. Well, continue on. Then Debbie, you're number 4.
All right, so I'm about 2 years late on this one, but I wanted to wait until I had a PS5 in order to experience this
I
game.
know exactly
so it's
what
kind of
it is.
kind of my own damn fault. My number 4 is Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I'm also
What do
I'm
you
gonna
mean is that Astro's
do-
playroom?
I'm gonna do a point 2 part on that for Spider-Man Remastered, but it technically doesn't count because I've already played the game. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with Miles. It was it was a continuation of what they did with 2018 Spider-Man, but now with Miles, and I think the story's about on par with the original. But I do like what they do with Miles, and they allow him to kind of be on his own for a little bit and not have to rely on Peter coming in and saving the day and saving his ass every single time. Um I think I think how they redo certain areas for like new content in the game, I think that was implemented well. My favorite, because they just take the same solid system and give Miles some new abilities to play with. I love the Venom strikes and using his powers to traverse around the world. I think it's a great extension of the formula they already had. Um, I think my biggest complaint with it is it's um at times it kind of just does feel like more of the same of what you did in PS4 Spider-Man, and I aside from like maybe one or two, I wasn't too impressed with the boss fights, and some of the underground mooks can suck a dick. But but other than that, I had a lot of fun with the game. Bodega Catsuit for life. So um, I'm very much looking forward to what Insomniac Games is going to bring to the table with Spider-Man 2 next year.
I will say the two things. My take on Miles. I actually think the final fight in Miles is better than the original Spider-Man for me. Personally, on that.
Yeah,
And then
that was one of the ones that I was talking about.
yeah. Then
being
the
exception.
other thing, I think find myself going back to Miles more than the original, and I think one of the reasons why is there is no there's no MJ segments in this, and anytime you are just being regular Miles, they're very quick with it, kind of deal
Yeah.
on that because it's definitely with the original. I'm having fun, and if one of those segments come up, I'm like, like right after. But,
It's like the Duncan video. Now I'm NJ. Now I'm this random kid. Oh, wait, you could be Spider-Man? Fighting bad guys? Wow, they should just make a whole game about this.
but all right. So my number 3 is to maybe give you guys a little bit of a thing. This is my regular game of the year for this one, and that is Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Hell yeah!
Yay!
More curb.
So yeah, I know I've been waiting for Kirby to finally make the proper full jump into 3D for a very long time, and
Hallelujah, he's 3D.
and I am glad he made that jump successfully on it. And it's also one of the best games in the entire series. The level design is fantastic. I love the upgrade ability system. Really fun boss fight throughout. A lot of charm. I put this game right up there with Robobot for second best in the entire series. For me, and especially like doing the true arena no ability is one of the most fun I think to do in this game. For me, especially if you've been with the series for a long time, Kirby series still keeps up a lot of its, fan service stuff like that. The music is fantastic. Probably probably next to Master Duel for my favorite score of the year for me on that. But I loved Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and I'd argue maybe in probably like top 3 platformers you can possibly get on Switch right now. Again, that weird thing of Kirby is actually Nintendo's best platforming series. They just don't really act like it a lot of the time. So yeah, my number 3, Kirby. Well, Jason,
Hey.
your number 3?
All right. So my number 3 is like my number 3 is the reason that Arceus Legends isn't on the list.
I know. Alright. I know.
Hi, Pokemon just Scarlet and Violet. How are you doing? If Pokemon Scarlet and Violet didn't come out the way that it did, Arceus Legends would have been in my number 3 spot. We don't live in that world. We live in this world. So I guess like the bad is like the easiest thing like to talk about. It would also be like the quickest. All the tech issues that came up with all of the tech issues that people were having when Gen 9 came out, came out. I still don't know what was the cause of a lot of them. I still don't know even half of them was like legitimate tech issues running on hardware or the people emulating the game and then uploading it to Twitter and being like, look at this funny little thing. Look what happened to me, guys. This game is bad. But like, regardless, some people were still having a lot of tech issues with this game. It is easily the biggest criticism against Gen 9, and that is fair. But the actual gameplay loop in Gen 9 is just so good. It is easily like my favorite Pokemon game, and now possibly beating Gen 4 as my favorite generation. because there's a lot about Gen 9 that I like. I like a lot of the new Pokemon that get introduced because the designs of this generation tend to lean more on the goofier side of Pokemon, and I tend to like it when the Pokemon designs are a little are like are a little goofier. Uh, favorite design is Tinkaton. Like a lot of people, look at the small pink girl with a giant hammer.
Bald girl with big hammer is my favorite gender.
I also really like the dolphin Pokemon that when it evolves, it gains the ability to transform it into a superhero. And the only way to get that version of the Pokemon, you literally have to switch it out and then have it come back in because nobody can because it's a superhero. Nobody can know it. Nobody can know his real identity. He has to keep it a secret, in which I do like that. They unlike Arceus, which was more like an open zone style game like Monster Hunter. Scarlet and Violet are actual full-on open worlds where you could go anywhere and tackle the challenges in any order you want. Instead of having one storyline, you get three. You get like the gym challenges. You get the gym challenges. The one with the storyline with Team Star and all the Titan Pokemon fights. And it was just really fun to to go around this region and capture all the Pokemon, getting them to level, getting them like to level up. The same like this, I had like the same enjoyment with Arceus, but the thing that pushes this game over Arceus for me is the act is like the world and the characters. The characters in the game feel like actual characters that actually exist in this world. Namona is my favorite rival in the whole series. She is literally just Goku. Like when it comes to Pokemon fights, all the gym leaders feel like actual people that just so happen to be gym leaders. My favorite two are the normal gym leader and the electric gym leader.
And the VTuber.
Yeah, yeah. Like the Elite Four actually talk to each other and interact. So like you get like you already get like a distinct you already have like a distinct like get like an idea about how they all get along. You can actually go back to the academy and talk to the teachers and actually do some of their stories. My funniest one is a history teacher when it comes to the mythical Pokemon because you must to set them free. If you know anything about the mythical Pokemon, you look at her and just go, bruh, really? You just want to do it? Bruh. Bro, you're the history teacher. You should know what happened. Why you want to? Okay, yeah, sure, I'll go along with this. I also like destruction. But, like, I like this also, I think, like the first Pokemon game in a long while where I think all three starters are great, are fantastic. Like usually when it comes to Pokemon, you have like there's always going to be two starters that people like, and then one starter that people just go in the trash bag with you, go away. I haven't really noticed that with this game. I think all three starters have like equal footing, equal footing with each other. Uh, and like all the new abilities, like the new like gameplay gimmick, I feel like Battle Girl Terrestrialization. I say it is like the cheapest of the gimmicks, and I do mean that in a good way because I don't have to come up with new forms that like design new forms. It's just here's a Pokemon now with a funny little hat on his head. But
Ray tracing.
yeah, and also might have been in the refrigerator for too long because it's cold. But the shakeups that could actually cause in battle are very intriguing. Gen 9 is just like a fantastic game with like the best Pokemon game next to Arceus to come out in a long while. And that's why it's my number 3.
All right. So Ace, your number 3.
All right. Hey, congratulations, you've been Alival Mauled. Hold, retweet to all your friends to totally Alival Maul them. It's Forgotten Land.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. My number 3 was also Forgotten Land.
Why?
so we
Wait,
can
wait, wait, wait.
Forgotten Land! It's number
Why didn't you jump in when I did it?
Because there was,
Because
because
I
there
was
was
just
a
gonna,
gap between us with Jason.
because I was just gonna casually wait. I don't want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I only joined. Ah! Ugh,
I wanted to respect the order. Goddamn it.
yeah. Jason was also
I
forgotten
say
land.
if
I
it
would've jumped
if
in.
just about if it's the same as someone else's spot, I think you can really come in and like claim that one as well
Yes, sir.
if you want. But all right, Ace, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Forgotten Land. Robobot tier. My god. Kirby is just, I think out of all of the games on the list, this is probably the most technically sound out of all the games I've played this year. Because, like, yeah, all the other games on my list are, like, they have at least some kind of debuff when it came to technical stuff. This one was just solid. Just solid.
Nothing broke the game in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and like music was all great. I love the area themes. Like, yes, it's grass, grass, grass beach, but then they go a little out there. Like, then there's like amusement park, Great World, Britain. I love, yeah, I love the enemy designs here. I love the bosses. They gave Kirby fucking witch time. They gave him witch time. Abilities, they went for quality over quantity this time around, although I do wish there was maybe like one or two more. And my biggest gripe with the abilities was there is no move list. And there are some abilities that really you wish there was a move list. Looking at you, Sword. But so many good Kirby hats. I love the Waddle Dee town. Like, the Waddle Dee challenges for the levels are pretty good. There's only one or two that get asshole. I'm looking at the double Mr. Frosty challenge. Ugh. That one could go die in hell, whatever.
Excuse
Like,
me.
the arenas were good. I liked the bonus world. It was, and just overall, just one of the most solid games I've played in a while. Well, the only reason it's not at the top is because the top two are just peak fiction.
No, it's not like your number one because we got the version of the game where Meta Knight wasn't a Grammy Award winning nominated. nominated
Fighting with a game award as Kirby. I love that mod. Alright, and then Debbie?
I pretty much agree with everything you guys have already said. I love how they perfectly translated the Kirby formula over into 3D. The abilities are fantastic. I love the upgrade system for the weapons. I think that's like a smart way of getting more abilities without getting more abilities. The arenas are great. The level design is fantastic. This game is beautiful. Roar of DDD is the only track I need in this game, but the soundtrack as a whole is fantastic. And it's kind of hard for me to really nail down like my biggest issue with the game. Like there are a couple of small gripes I have here and there. Like this level is kind of this challenge is kind of stupid. But overall, I'd say it's probably like it's a very, very good, very solid game, and I really hope that they just take this and just keep going with it for the next mainline Kirby game. I know they said that they're not going to completely abandon 2D, but I hope we don't jump immediately back into 2D for a bit.
I mean, we do
So-
have the Return to Dreamland remake.
I'm very aware, but that's a remake. That's not the next mainline game. So yeah, Forgotten Land is my number 3.
Alright, so onto our number 2s. Now, my number 2 was originally my 3, and then I swapped it last minute. I was just like, which one did I actually been thinking about all year kind of deal? And I swapped it because it also, I think, has been one of our best Twitch playthroughs of the entire time I've been streaming. That, of course, is Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia.
Oh,
This-
no.
Dude, man,
Wealthy Safar, where are you? Get in here! The Fire Emblem is talking.
So yeah, I initially passed out on this because I was burnt kind of hard after Fates initially, but I always heard great things about it, so I wanted to do it for a stream playthrough. I could safely say I missed out, and out of all the ones I've played, I think this is my favorite game in the series now. There's a lot of interesting mechanics in here. I love the cast throughout. A lot of fun map design, incredible art and music. Oh my god. Like, I think it's probably my favorite art style in the entire series, and probably my favorite final map of the entire series. And I also love the idea of only giving units one weapon and sticking to it. I think leads to a lot more interesting stuff. I like the magic system in it too. Just a lot of things in Echoes' design that this remake did, I really enjoyed. I would say my only real negatives are the weird stuff they did do with DLC and the supports following them, and that at times I think it's a little too close to the original, mostly on a few of the earlier maps, mostly the desert, I think is like the worst of it by far. But other than that, yeah, Echoes is one I absolutely recommend if you played another Fire Emblem, because I think it is a little weird for your first one, but I can safely say that was one of the best RPGs I have played in a very long time, right behind number one for this year. So go play Echoes before the eShop apocalypse happens. It real good.
All right, now it's time for my number two. My number two should have won. Should have won for best music at the Game Awards.
Oh
It's Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that I put 198 hours into.
this man was consistent.
And that was first playthrough, by the way.
That was first playthrough, but I didn't. I did everything. Which is why I'm not touching this game again for a very long time. At least until enough of the DLC comes out that justifies me re-downloading the game. Whereas the game itself, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is Chronicles 3 is an awesome game. I still have yet to play 2, so there was some stuff in 3 that just kind of went over my head. Nothing really story related. It was just more so references to the second game. But man, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is huge. It is so big. It's like I thought like Xenoblade Chronicles 1 was a huge game in terms of map size. Chronicles 3 comes in and just goes, nah. You think that's huge? No, this is huge. The size of the first area that you're in alone, I think kind of trumps like Garu Plains, I think is the name of
Yeah.
like the map in is it the Chronicles 1? It makes that map look really tiny. And that's like and that's impressive. The core the core cast I think in this game is overall really good, except for one. And I say she's bad, she's just easily the weakest. I'm sorry, Senna, you got hijacked hard. If you play 3, if you did like all like the side stories with all the characters, you Senna's story gets hijacked kind of hard by the best villain of this game. I kind of feel sorry for her.
But anyway,
But-
yeah.
but like just going around and just exploring in Xenoblade Chronicles has always been something that I just enjoy in general. And 3 just had that in space because the map was so big. It just was just peak. Hey, what's that over there? Oh, what's that over there? Oh, hey, that's a cool thing. And I just gave up trying to do anything organized because the minute I would say, okay, I'm going to do this, I would just go, hey, what's that over there? Oh, that's a cool thing. And I would just keep going. I'll just keep going down these rabbit holes of stuff. And like a lot of the side stories in this game, when it comes to like going back to a lot of the colonies and stuff, actually did make me care not just about like the side characters, but like some of like the ancillary characters in this game, in like in this game, it is like is like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a very lived it's like a very lived in world that I do like highly uh recommend. Just don't be a maniac like I am and just try to do everything in your first playthrough.
Or at least do it in a better manner than he did.
Or just do it in a better, or just do it in a smarter, better like me. It's like, maybe do the main story first, and then go back and do all the side content. Because you do everything in order, this game is really easy. I was at max level for the final boss. I never even grinded. I I was just at max level because I did everything. And because I did everything, I could even face the secret bosses in the Blade Chronicles 3 before doing the final boss. Which I thought was a little weird, but I thought was like a little weird, but that's not like a knock against the game. It's a really good game. It's a really good game. I would have 200 hours in once the DLC was fully available.
Good. Go play Torna.
So next up, Ace.
All right. It's Elden Ring.
Game of the year, Elden Ring.
Yeah, here's the thing. I was actually intending to pick up Elden Ring at launch, but then I saw, oh shit, this is actually really good. Fuck, and then I did. And yeah, it it is now hands down the best Souls game that FromSoft has put out. How it
Better than
it does
Bloodborne, you
open-
think? On that?
I don't know, but at least that's what my brain is saying right now.
Okay.
Theoretically, the best one is whatever I'm playing at the time.
Mm.
But they put like the Souls, formula into open world so well. It's just pick a direction, go. Oh, something beating your ass, go a different direction. And there's just so much things under so many different rocks. So like all the main open areas are so good to explore, especially with Torrent, the magical double jumping horse. I love this horse. Best horse ever made. It's Torrent is the best boy. But just going. I love the build variety. There is so much build variety this time around. And just due to how much longer the game is, you just have much more time to put more stats into more levels into more stats, which allows for more variation. And I had such a good arsenal of weapons going into the end. Like it was either katanas, the guts sword, or so many different boss weapons, and to pick from it. And so many of them so fun. Even weapons I could use, I I kind of want to do a build for that. There were so many weapons that were like that. I can't use this. I want to, but maybe another playthrough. I can't use this. Maybe next playthrough. Like the fact that even several months later I'm thinking of going back for more shows just this game's built. And then there's the bosses. This might be when it comes to the main bosses, might be some of the best in the series. Radon the Scarf-Scourge might be my favorite boss in the series because it just combines unique gameplay, spectacle, along with the normal combat. It's one of the few bosses you can use the horse with, and he's also just a Chad in lore that I just love it. They also did one of the best spectacle fights with what's his face, Rykard the best. That's the best time they've done the Storm Ruler style boss, and the issue probably one of the biggest issues I have is that maybe there's just too much repetition when it comes to the small dungeons. And the final boss is kind of booty. Not like the first phase of the final boss, because they're technically two different bosses. The first phase is really cool. The second boss, that fucking amoeba can go die for all I care. But overall, Elden Ring, great game. If you have any amount of for Souls, play it, please. It won Game of the Year for a reason. And yeah, I'm done.
All right, David. Now talk about why God of War should have won a game of the year.
Well, that's assuming it's not his number one. We're still
Yeah,
on two.
yeah, I do have to wait a little bit because my number two, to the surprise of nobody in this group, is Sonic Frontiers.
The highest
God,
one out of everyone.
I I I love this game. I love this game. It's so good. I love like this just kind of felt like the most natural evolution I thought the 3D Sonic could take other than going back to the adventure formula. Um but they managed to get something good going here. Like I love the gameplay loop. I love how Sonic controls in the open world. Just running around and just beating the shit out of enemies is fun. It's a fun loop for me, and it's one of the reasons why I love like other open world games like Breath of the Wild and a few others where you just get to go out and explore and just see things that make your head start racing. Like, well, why is this here? What was this used for? Am I gonna get to discover this as I go throughout the game? Um, and just like I keep repeating myself, but the gameplay loop was really fun. I will say after thinking about it, I think my least favorite part about the game is probably the cyberspace levels. That's not to say that they're entirely awful. There are still some really, really good ones. But when they're taking level design from like the previous Boost games and putting them in the Frontiers engines, I agree with Pat and Ty when we're like, yeah, I like those levels kind of make me wish I was playing those games instead. But with the more like adventure styled level design, I think that fits really well for uh for cyberspace. I agree with Jason. Island 3 is the worst island in the game. And that's not even like for me. That's not even because of the traversal. I got used to the traversal. It's because they decided to end Island 3 with a frickin' pinball game, and you need 5,000,000 points to beat that son of a bitch, and it was just yeah, it was not fun. And then I think the game just kinda ended on a disappointing note for me just because, like, the final Titan fight wasn't anything spectacular, and while I do agree that it's, like, a mechanically good fight, it's just not what I think the game should have ended with. Maybe as like a phase in the fight, sure, but not the whole one. Um, but I'm ready to see what they're gonna do for the DLC and what they're gonna do for the next 3D Sonic game. So yeah, it's my number two.
All right. Okay, so before we get to number one, I want us to quickly go down. This could gotta be a bit of a freeform discussion on this part, but actually, nah, let's keep it probably still on the list of maybe, but we can chime in more. I think to other people. So, our honorable mentions and a dishonorable mention as well, if you have it.
I have mine.
For mine, I got two honorable mentions in particular I want to talk about. One that you might have noticed was particularly absent on mine. It's not my number one. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. For me, I really did enjoy that game. I love the exploration. I love that cast, and like the world they have built is beautiful. In that, however, I definitely felt I wasn't loving it quite as much as a lot of my peers did on it. I think that's mostly thanks to two things. One, I think the combat's way too easy to break too early. It's kind of a similar problem I had with games like P5R and Tales of Berseria, where you break the combat 10 hours in a 100+ hour RPG, and the game can't really do anything to fight back with that. It could have been solved by you being able to level down, but they, for whatever reason, locked that behind beating the game, which I still don't understand to this day on that. And a little controversial, but I honestly think, while the side story stuff is fantastic throughout the entire game, I think the main narrative starts to kind of go downhill, like, halfway through chapter 4 on, in my opinion, leading to kind of a conclusion for me. That's probably why I didn't think as high on it. I did really enjoy the game, but I don't think quite as much. I think how, you guys were describing Sonic Frontiers as a 7 out of 10 game that you love, like a 9 out of 10 or stuff like that. I think for me, Xenoblade is like an 8 or 9 that I feel very 6 or 7 about, kind of deal for me.
I know there were a lot of people that were hyping up Chapter 5. Chapter 5, yo boy, Chapter 5. I got to Chapter 5 and I felt nothing.
Yeah. My other one would be Astro's Playroom. For, yeah, I will say this now. If I ever get to the Knack 2 video, this is the game Knack should have been. Kind of deal. It is such a charming little game, and all the references to PlayStation's history just made me feel very giddy inside. And it's a solid platformer to boot. I would say the major issue I have is when it decides to get very gimmicky with the controller, mostly with the haptic feedback, where it feels like I'm breaking my controller every time I have to hit a button. But like the actual game, for just being a built-in title, is a really charming little time. I definitely want to play that at some point for the Twitch channel. It's worth it alone just for all the little acknowledgement throughout. It's a very charming game. For that.
Astro's Playroom was a $500 game, guys. Come on, it's worth it.
Yeah, you get this cool thing called a PS5 with it.
Now on the other hand of the PS5.
Wait, Pat, real quick. I think my add-on for Astro's Playroom is that I think it was like the very first PlayStation game that I played. That just like, oh yeah, I guess I am happy to be a PlayStation fan.
Oh right, PlayStation's history. I forgot about that.
I don't know if there were other games that PlayStation have released throughout like the years that actually celebrates its history. I don't know if they exist or they did. I just passed by them. This was the first one that I played. I just went, oh yeah. I am a fan of PlayStation.
It feels like after PlayStation All-Stars, they got cold feet on that idea, kind of deal. But
every time I'm gonna go through like the slot machine or whatever, I'm just like, hey, look, it's the PS2. I remember the PS2. The Vita.
Remember the iToy? Remember that?
No, I remember the iToy. Oh, baby.
But on the on the other side of that, while talking about the PS5, my dishonorable mention of this year is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart for me.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I plan on reviewing this game later on, but I definitely felt like in the previews, I was feeling the sense that this was going to be an extremely safe Ratchet & Clank game. And I think I was even surprised by that kind of deal. This is down there with Tools of Destruction for me for one of the most just I played that game and felt nothing throughout the entire deal. When I beat that, I normally with Ratchet & Clank game, I'm usually like right into New Game Plus, let's go. I did not even bother with Rift Apart. I was so done by the time I got there. There's barely anything this game could call its own. A lot of its ideas have been done better in previous entries and actively make some mechanics worse throughout. For the people saying that you need a PS5 for Rift Apart, no, you really don't. Astro's Playroom left a better impression for me on that, so...
Pat, how dare you assault Tool to Destruction like that?
I did a video on that like 2 years ago, my guy.
Give it the time, Jason.
How dare you assault Tools of Destruction like that?
How dare you have an opinion?
I mean, this is also coming for someone that has Rift Apart, played Rift Apart, didn't finish Rift Apart.
I think that also says something right there as well. But
I don't get to have an opinion because I don't
it's like I
have a
played
PS5.
it, I just went, yeah, this is a Ratchet & Clank game.
that's kind of the
Alright.
that is the biggest problem of like, God, this is like every other game in the series at this point, kind of deal. But Jason, on to you for yours at this point.
Alright, so my first honorable mention for me goes to Overwatch 2. This game was so close to being put on my dishonorable mentions list. because of the way that the current season was playing out after that patch. But then they implemented like a hotfix patch where they rebalanced some of the characters that they rebalanced some of the characters and making the season better. So it managed to survive and get put on my audible mentions. But like all right, just to be fair, let's just put all the Blizzard stuff, but you can put it over here to the side, all the Blizzard, all the Activision stuff, very, very important stuff, very, very important stuff. I just want to talk about Overwatch 2, the game. As a game, and as someone that put a lot of time into Overwatch 1, a lot of the changes that they made to Overwatch 2, I very much liked. Switching from 6v6 to 5v5, toning down all of the CC or a lot of the moves that just straight up stop your movement, and taking away some of the barriers did a lot for this game. As far as like one, clarity. I can see what's happening on the field now. I have a better understanding of everything that's going on. Two, oh my goodness, the barriers are gone. That means a lot of the heroes that just really couldn't do anything because they got two barriers to deal with can actually start doing stuff now. Junkrat is actually a threat now because the barriers are
My boy's back.
because the barriers are gone, and due to lack of barriers and with less lack of tank, Gizzy and Tracer or Samba just went mine, and that backline is open wide. So support players actually have to defend themselves now. They can't just hide behind a tank. Switching Doofus from a DPS character to a tank character, and just giving him a weak way through that. Maybe not hate Doofus anymore. Just like imagine a character that could punch you into a wall, stop you from doing anything, and they could just uppercut you and kill you, and there's literally nothing you could do about that to like defend yourself. Like Doofus was so frustrating to fight against Overwatch 2. But and they were actually during the beta season, I guess more so throughout, they have been more open with a lot of the changes they've been making and the reasons why. Like playing that first beta for Overwatch 2, I was like, oh my goodness, this game is fun again. Oh, I forgot how much fun this game can this game can be. As long as they continue to actually address the game and keep coming out with quicker patch notes, because Overwatch is a kind of game where the meta of that game can change really fast, and they don't stay on top of that. You can be stuck in a meta that you don't like for a very long time. Goats, I'm looking at you, Goats. I will never ever forget about you, Goats. Because of you, Brigitte. You were really fun when you were really fun when you just nullified Tracer as a character. But then you started Ghost, and I hated you for it. My other honorable mention is Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
Because in my brain, it kind of fulfills the same need that Overwatch 2 fulfills for me. There's been like a multiplayer game that I can spend as much or as little time as I wanted there, and because the matches are quick, I can very easily pick up the game and I can very easily pick up the game and go. And just like Overwatch 2, a lot of the changes that they made in Splatoon 3 are like smaller changes that you really wouldn't notice unless you played a lot of Splatoon 1 and 2. So you can appreciate these changes more. Like a lot of the specials are just better, are just not only better balanced, but are just straight up better. Armor is gone. So the maps, the majority of the maps I think are well designed now, except for Mahi Mahi Resort. that map becomes a decent map halfway through the match. Big Run is actually a challenge now. I was like, oh my goodness, Big Run is actually hard. It's hard. It's hard.
Maybe a little too hard at times, but...
Oh no!
We need a better out for Satan.
Yo, this fish got hands!
You got denim missiles is what you got.
I can't
pre-nerf reflux.
I can't say anything about the single player because I play a little bit of single player, but I also definitely understand like some people who only play Halo or Call of Duty for like the multiplayer and don't care about the single player. Because that's how I am with the single player content for Splatoon. Hey, it's there. Neat. That's not what I play this game for. Get out of here. I don't care you get the extra special gun. It's just a splatter. It's just a splash shot, but with a different skin on it.
I know, but it looks better.
You're right. It does look better. But I have to play through the single player content. I just can't be bothered right now. My other honorable mention, like these are all feel the same niche. It's Fortnite. It's Fortnite because I also finally got the Fortnite this year, and just the amount. When I finally got into it, I just went, "Why wish I played this sooner?" This is exactly my kind of game. It's a game where I can actually take as seriously as I need to, but the majority of the time, I can just be doing a bunch of stupid stuff with my friends, and I love it. Like, yo, Goku, Master Chief, and now Duke Guy can all hang out in the same room. Hi, I'm Goku. Wow, is that you, Master Chief? I heard you were strong. Wow, Dude Guy, I heard you barely talk. I heard you were strong. Let's fight. The Dragon Ball event did a lot to get me into Fortnite, as well as Zero Build. Fortnite is just a stupid fun game that you can have stupid amounts of fun with your friends. So I just really enjoy it. My dishonorable mention, and I'm counting this because this was actually the first time I ever played this game, Mario Party.
Mario Party
the
1
original.
specifically.
Mario Party 1 specifically. It was the first time I ever actually played Mario Party 1. So, so that was the one.
I understand. I understand.
Literally, it was me, India, and Warbot. We were playing Mario Party 1 because we also wanted to test how good like the actual like netcode was for that game. At one point, I was Donkey Kong. I was just literally like, all right, it's my turn. 2. All right, and I just went to read manga in the background. I checked out so hard of that game. I think that game also just made me go, I guess I'm just not. I guess Mario Party as a game, more it's just isn't for me. Unless you're because like the only Mario Party game that I ever actually got into, I think was like Mario Party 6, the one with like the sun and moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only Mario Party game that I just when I played with you guys, I just go, oh wait a minute, I actually think this is kind of fun. Hang on, wait a minute, finally a fun Mario Party game. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, here preaching Mario Party 1, 2. No, not 1. Nobody likes 1. If you like 1, you're a freak of nature. Get out of my chat.
Oh.
Those your ace, get out of my chat. Mario Party killed. Yeah, Sophie, Mario Party killed my grandma. Then why would you play Mario Party? Because it killed my grandma, okay?
Alright. So, Ace, do you have any honorable mentions or dishonorable?
I don't have any dishonorable. I have quite a few honorable. I'll try to speed run.
Yeah, speed
Okay.
run them if you can.
Okay, so first on the list, Sir not appearing in this film, Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, no expansions this year. I did start playing it for the first time. It did get 2 updates this year, so only honorable mention. They're good updates. Game's still doing fine. Okay, this is the game that I had as a game in my top 5 last year, but I didn't finish until this year. Here, Persona 5 Strikers. Here's, I'd only made it up to the 3rd jail.
Was that this year?
No, but it's still we're still doing games.
Okay, I was like, wait, Striker seriously? I was about to say, did that come out this year?
No,
that
Did
was
it come out
last
on my
year.
list? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that does remind me. I would technically put 3 hopes for honorable mention, but I didn't want 2 of the same franchise on mine, so do that as well. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
continue on.
Persona 5 Strikers just still keep going. Like,
Hey, Chris.
like the
Hello.
the P5 cast is still one of my favorite casts in JRPGs. Not my personal favorite, but it's still just solid. I think Strikers did a great job of adapting the Warriors formula to a different style of game. Soundtrack's still stellar, story's decent, and I did like few of the plot points, especially involve Zenkichi might be my favorite character in P5 period.
Yes.
He is so good. Also in gameplay, he's my favorite character because he's basically Fierce Deity Link.
My man.
But yeah, soundtrack's great. Special highlight to Counter Strike from the end of one of the last jails. It is probably the best original theme in the game. And just
Oh,
yeah,
track. I love that track. That's my favorite
Yeah.
track of the game.
yeah, just overall, just very solid. If you played OG5, play it, please. Just like, yeah.
Uh,
Next up, Persona, not Persona, fuck. It's still Sega though. Phantasy Star Online 2, New Genesis. Second actual MMO I've gotten into, and I will say it's not as good as 14, but it does scratch a Xenoblade X kind of itch. Very similar style, very similar like world structure. Uh, I love like all the classes that there are to play with. Like all of them have something unique to them that I love. Like you've got like fighter just up in your face boxing, braver like katana Virgil combos, bouncer with its jet boots just zippity zippity. Casters are the caster is pretty fun. My two major gripes are that if you don't like grinding, a lot of the game is just grinding. I'd still say it's fun like Disgaea-esque grinding, but it's still grinding. And secondly, the
grinding
story
is
is not much to write. And like the story is not much to write home about. It's not a I won't say it's a bad story, but it's also not complete yet. There's still like one more story chapter to go. But it's still not the most interesting story. But I do love its gameplay, so it made at least honorable mention.
All right. Okay.
Splatoon 3. Splatoon has always been just one of those I play it with friends kind of game. I don't play it too much like on my own. I did think the single player was really good though. Oh, it's not as good as Octo Expansion, but it's close. It's just got good sets of levels, good weapon. Alright, I'm trying to speed up. Here. Just good sets of levels, good weapon variety, like yeah, and story-wise, pretty good. I like it. And finally, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm fully back into Yu-Gi-Oh! With this thing. It's my go-to way to play the game now.
Yeah.
Now, I am still on and off with it, but when I'm on, I'm on.
Yeah.
I still love my Stardust Dragon deck. Okay, I'm done.
Alright. We'll move to Tevi's honorable mention and
Uh,
dishonorable, and then we'll go.
there are two that I forgot to mention for my honorable mentions: Free to Play 2 and Hades.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try to run through these so that way Chris can get his. Splatoon 3. Okay, Splatoon 3 and Fortnite because they were the multiplayer games for this year. I'm gonna count all 3 waves that we've gotten of the Mario Kart DLC as an honorable mention. And then I guess for like the actual ones, Pac-Man Repack is one. I love playing the original when I was a kid. But I wish the remake had a little bit more polished. It does kind of feel like it's a budget title. Let me see. Astro's Playroom because it's so damn cute and it's so damn charming.
Oh yeah, I am a PlayStation fan.
You know what? I'm gonna also say Elden Ring because I played a little bit of it, but I haven't really gotten very far in it. But the most fun I've had has just been walking around and rolling around enemies like an absolute dipshit. And then there's Deathloop. I still haven't finished it yet, but I don't play first-person shooters very often. But this is one that I was kind of like interested in just because of its premise, and it's very fun.
What do you mean
I'm
you play Metroid Prime?
shut up.
Yeah.
I'm stuck at a part right now, which and I haven't played it in a little bit, but so far
Metroid
it is a
Prime.
very fun game. And then my last honorable mention is the first 3 hours of Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's also mine as well. Yeah. I've only put 3 hours into that game over like the 3 years
Guys,
I've had it.
Guys, look, the Mario Kart lover put Mario Kart on the list.
Ah, shut up.
You got a dishonorable?
Oh, yeah, dishonorable. Okay, so I didn't play a bad game. At least in my head, I didn't play a bad game. So my dishonorable mention is just kind of like the one I was the most on, and that's the HD remake of Link's Awakening. I like the game, but in terms of Zeldas, this one ranks kind of low for me. Just in general, um, I I don't think that this game has a really solid set of dungeons. Like Eagle's Tower and Turtle Rock can go die in a fire. But every other dungeon just kind of blends in with each other for me. I don't like how small Link's repertoire is, and I understand it's a remake of a Game Boy Advance or like a remake of a Game Boy Color game. But still,
What about that happen,
what,
Tevin? What would you do?
I don't um, but the game still has a lot of charm, and I do kind of wish they went a little bit more in with the story. But yeah,
Tevin, you're doing this wrong.
it's still all right.
No, Tevin, you're doing this wrong. Let me do it for you. Hey, if you want to know his full thoughts on the game, he has
Oh
a
yeah,
review.
yeah.
He has
If you
a
want to
review
hear,
on his channel.
yeah, if you want to hear
Sophie's got
my
the
full
link right
thoughts,
there.
oh Sophie, you're the best. If you want to hear my full thoughts on Link's Awakening HD, you can check out my channel. The link in the chat to the right. I don't remember where the Twitch chat is.
It's to the right.
You're right, yeah.
So
Damn it,
okay, I'm done.
I am surprised none of us mentioned Sonic Origins for our.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Sonic
I
Origins.
literally just deleted that off my honorable mentions list.
I never picked up Sonic Origins, so I
yeah,
can't put
I
it
think
on
Tevy was
mine.
the only one in this group that did. I think.
Chris, did you pick it up?
I bought it on Steam and Switch just because I wanted to play Sonic on the go and right here.
Yeah.
I got achievements on Steam, but not on Switch.
I think, as a collection, it's a novel concept. It's just the game just gets so many little things that are different that just bugs the shit out of me. Especially the changes that were made for Sonic 3, and I'm not even talking about just the music. Just there are just a couple other things where I'm like, I don't agree with how they changed this, and it just feels like, it's a cash grab, but it's a somewhat solid cash grab at the end of the day. My biggest problem with the game isn't the games themselves, it's how Sega how they handled the DLC with the game. Like the DLC that they quote unquote offered should have been in the game by default.
Mm-hmm.
But they just separated it to pull more money from the consumer, and they've been doing this kind of shit since 2017, and thankfully it didn't hurt Frontiers that much, but it's still an issue that Sega needs to stop with. Play Sonic 2.
I'm glad we can agree.
Play Sonic Mania.
All right, so Chris, we just for a heads up, we have done 5 through 2, and
I'm glad I could barely make it.
Yeah, you made it right before the finale.
Alright, should I go 5 to 2 and then honorables, or just...
yeah.
5 to 2 honorables and then dishonorable.
Alright, I don't have much written for everything, but number 5, I decided to put Frontiers down there. Just because it is the best
You're the-
step Sonic's taken in a little while. Plus,
Welcome,
it's like
Chris.
big and open. It's fun.
The club.
It's not true open world, it's open zone, but it's still really good. The story was fun. I loved Sage. I loved just how the characters interacted. They got a personality this time around.
Duh.
Yeah, that's it for 5. Number 4, I put Dragon Ball: The Breakers because it's Dead by Daylight, but actually good. If any of you know what Dead by Daylight is.
Yeah,
I know what it is.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight, I feel like I never have a chance to win as the survivor, but in Dragon Ball: The Breakers, it's a bigger team, you're all working together, and I've seen the bad guy get killed many times. And even playing as the Raider, I feel like I have a chance to win against all 7 people. And I just really enjoy the character customization. We've got Frieza, Cell, and Boo as Raiders so far. We're gonna get more. I think Great Ape Vegeta's coming in.
Oh hell yeah.
Nice.
Number 3, I put a game called Dead Estate, which is basically The Binding of Isaac mixed with Enter the Gungeon. The controls feel really nice. The characters are all unique from each other. The items are pretty good. Even on repeated failed attempts, I enjoyed what I was doing. Also, the witch has big boobs. I wrote that down too.
You know what? You know what? You know what? I respect it.
Truly
Mad
the side
respect.
of a number 3. Which is why most of us had Kirby on that list, of course, obviously.
Well, speaking of Kirby, number 2, I put Forgotten Land.
Yeah!
Hey.
It was the first game that managed to pull me away from my number 1 spot, and one of the few Kirby titles I actually felt like I needed to 100% as soon as it came out. Like, I didn't 100% stuff like Triple Deluxe or Robot till like years later, just because I felt like I wanted to go back and play more of those, finish the arena and all that. And the reason I 100%ed Forgotten Land, it wasn't because I was like searching for lore or because I was told that there was some secret challenge. I just really felt like I enjoyed playing this game. Like finding every one of the Waddle Dees, beating the arena, it was really fun. And Gun is actually just really good. And for my honorables, it's basically just a list of all the stuff I played that I really enjoyed. Trombone Champ, the meme game, Splatoon
yeah.
3, Cuphead DLC came out this year,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, Everhood was fun, Fortnite no build specifically, fuck building.
I love how 3 of us have put Fortnite on our list.
Fortnite no build.
No build specifically. Stray's fun. I kind of just fell out of playing that though. I never went back and finished it. Multiverses, I also fell out of playing. And Scarlet Violet, I'm playing right now. I finished it, and I love shiny hunting on it.
All right, ED, since you came in.
Oh,
All
Jesus
right, Walmart, you came in.
Okay, are you guys
I'm
ready
not.
to do-
I don't think we should, considering how
We
late
are
we are.
right
We
at the
shouldn't.
end.
Okay.
We
We're at
shouldn't.
the end.
Yeah, we're not
Pad
gonna.
out the
Unless you
time.
want to do a
Pad
very
out the
brief lightning
time.
round.
Unless you can shotgun them out.
Unless you
At
want
the
to
very least-
shotgun
at the
your
very-
5
at the
through
very-
2s.
Yeah, at the very least, say like your 5 through 2s and your honorable mentions.
If you
Just-
want to.
Actually, you know what? You want a ranking, Jason? All right, hold
Yeah.
on. Let me just.
Oh, gee, oh,
Yeah,
gee,
but
oh,
hey,
gee,
hey,
oh,
guys,
gee.
you have the Google Doc.
Oh my god.
I've
Jesus
been ranking big time Rush songs. So
Jesus. Okay.
You even said you were doing that on Twitter.
so that was yeah. If y'all let me go to this chat. Let me put it in. Let me put it in chat.
All right.
I know you've been saying yours in chat.
Yeah, I've said some of mine in chat, but I'll just say it for those in the back. For me, number 5, Splatoon 3, just good. I'm not super like deep into Splatoon, but I'll play when Splatfest happens. Number 4, Pokemon Violet. Honestly, very shocked it's there. It's just fun. The technical issues are not enough to deter it. As someone who fell out of love with Pokemon, this has been great. Number 3, Neon White. Great speedrunning game. I have not finished it, but is extremely high quality, extremely stylish. Ignore the story.
I still need to play that.
It's like Steve Bloom cannot save that script.
Oh,
But the style is great. The gameplay is great. The way the game teaches you how like its movement options work over time and how you can best utilize that stuff. Just competing with your friends' speed running scores. We made an entire design doc episode around it.
Go
The speed running episodes. Plug.
would you say Design Doctor prescribes Neon White?
We do prescribe Neon White. I am not a doctor. Oh my god, I am not a doctor.
Please do not. Please do not.
Please shut the fuck up.
Please do not refer to me as a literal doctor. I just like alliteration.
Bye, Raycons.
Oh.
Favorite Shadowlands.
No. Subscribe to, sign up for Millinote. There you go. Number 2, Elden Ring. Great
Yeah,
game.
brother.
Love it for all the same reasons I love Breath of the Wild. I'm not I have not finished it, and I don't know if I will because I'm just like that with Souls games. I usually get most of the way through and then I fall off. But great game, is not balanced in the slightest, but that's actually kind of a strength.
Yeah.
Because you can just break the game if you like look stuff up, or if you find the right like build, you can just break that game if you want. But if you don't want to break that game, you don't have to. You can it's as hard as you want it to be. Thanks to like the summon system. The summon system's great. I think one day I'll do an episode on like summoning systems and we'll talk about that.
Your choices stand.
And number 1, Freedom
Oh, wait.
Planet 2.
Wait.
He can go for his ones if he wants now. If he's just
Right, you're
not
going
one.
first.
Okay, I guess I'll go first then.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Oops.
paying attention.
I got
Sorry.
carried away. Sorry.
Whatever. Go ahead.
But okay, so yeah, my number 1, Freedom Planet 2. It is maybe the best 2D Sonic style game I've played, or at least a fully original one. Mania still has something to say. I've played a lot of Sonic style games this year too. It's actually been kind of ridiculous, like Spark 3, freaking Fallen Star, Triple Trouble, all great games. But Freedom Planet 2, all the characters are great. Most of the stages are good. There's a couple stinkers in there, but yeah, it's fine. The story is much improved from one. I actually cared about the story this time with some legitimately funny moments.
The Carol one is immediately what I think
The
of.
Carol bit is like great. The gameplay is top notch. It's like it's a continued evolution from the first game. It's actually kind of harder to go back to the first game now. It's just outdone it. Lots of good difficulty options, lots of style, good music. I see a lot of people kind of be disappointed by the music, but I think that's mostly just the boss music. The boss music is a little underwhelming. But good bosses, great music, great locations, just great game all around. Highly recommend. One day I'll talk about it for real on the episode.
I just didn't get the time to play Freedom Planet 2, but I got a strong feeling it's gonna be on next year's list. I got a strong feeling about that.
Strong feeling.
Strong
All right,
feeling.
that's it.
All right. Now, Jason, I wonder what our number 1 is. I wonder what our number 1 is.
You know what,
You know what our number 1 is?
Yeah, you know what? I think I do know what our number 1 is because we share it. It's Tales of Arise.
Tales
I
of Arise.
I knew they were gonna make this.
You can thank Tyler for this. He had it as his game of the year last year, and he got both of us into it. I played it like late December, early January. It went immediately to my number 1 on this list, and it did not budge a smudge for the entire year on that.
It's so good. It's so good.
The combat, they have basically platinum gamesified it. It is so smooth now at this point. They've fixed a lot of the world map at this point of that. It's so easy to get around. The combat is great leveling system. This cast is absolutely incredible. Just Tales of Arise basically hit the checklist on everything that I am looking for in an action RPG to such a high extent. I don't think I have enjoyed an RPG this much since the base version of Persona 5 came out back in 2017. It is.
Yeah, it's just like the actual flow of the game is just so good. Because a lot of my issues when it comes to like RPG, yeah, I still don't know if it's just like a me thing, but I guess, but like the game can a lot of RPGs can very easily just can slow down if you decide in the middle of doing something. All right, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of side quests now. So okay, bye. I know that you can very easily do that to yourself. That's what happened to me. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I would do a little bit of that story, and then side content just popped out. I went ahead to go do that. But Tales of Arise somehow managed to figure out just like a really good balance of doing the main story and also doing the side doing the side content there's really good balancing there where it feels like nothing interrupts the natural the natural flow like the natural flow of the game. And what like getting 100% of this game is actually is actually like a lot of fun. I don't normally go for like the optional bosses in the Tales of games, but Tales of Rise should like slap me in the face and say, "You will do the optional bosses."
It was just
And I just
it-
went, "Yes, ma'am."
when we got to the end of the game, it's just like, no, I'm not ready for it to go. Like, keep doing more. It's like it's also an action game. Like I think the difficulty curve in the game as well is like just right for me as well. Like it gets progressively good, and just when you think you might be breaking it, it really starts to ramp up its difficulty in the second half. It's like, okay, do you actually know the combat system at this point?
Do
You ain't gonna beat the
understand?
game until we find out at the end.
Do you know how to perfect dodge? Do you know how to perfect dodge?
But yeah, no. Tales of Arise, absolutely my game of the year, without question. If you have a PC, PS5, or Xbox, please get it. The previous gen versions are a little iffy just because the frame rate is uncapped, and as such, like, can get a little messy on there. But if you have a next gen system, please, I cannot recommend Tales of Arise.
Now, hang on, you forgot one Steam Deck.
Oh,
You
yeah,
also play
it's Steam
Tales
Deck
of Arise on
verified now, right?
it is Steam Deck verified. It was great on the Steam Deck. Playing Tales of Arise is also my number one. It's also my number one game of the year. The character that I easily played the most of is Shion.
Yeah.
Like Shion was like my most played character. I think Pat's most played character was Alpha.
Alvin, yeah.
Wait.
Don't worry. I know at some point there will be a Twitch playthrough on this. It's only a matter of time at some point.
No, there won't be a Twitch playthrough. There'll be the me, Pat, and Tyler playthrough featuring everyone else.
Well,
there
give me a
be-
little bit to play it. You know, might
I
be
don't have a
in there.
PS5 yet.
Yeah.
Get it on PS4.
No,
No.
that's why I said don't go ahead, because previous gen versions are a little iffy, but yeah.
Also, small thing. This is like a small thing. There's something about the sound design of Alpha running around with his armor on that is really satisfying to listen to.
Clank, 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 clank.
Clunk,
Yeah,
clunk,
like,
clunk, clunk, clunk,
it's,
clunk.
I'm just like, yeah, that should get annoying, but I just went, yeah, clink, 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 clink,
It's like-
clink.
Clink
like
all the way, boy.
It's like Steiner's run cycle from Final Fantasy IX. It's just like it should be annoying, but it just ends.
It just isn't for some reason. I don't know what they did to make it not annoying, but it's not. But yeah, clink, 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 clink.
You go do you, boy.
It's like having the iron boots on the end of Twilight Princess.
Yes.
Something about this just feels right.
All right, but yeah, please go play Tales of Rise. It's so
Go
good.
play Tales of Arise.
I will
Alright,
play Vesperia first, more likely.
I saw Tales of Arise.
all right. So next one is Ace for your number
All
one.
right. Okay. Hey, it is Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
To the
surprise, another
surprise
one.
of no one.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be Elden Ring, low key.
I mean, it was close, but Xenoblade Chronicles 3 went more peak fiction-y than Elden Ring, and that's kind of what gave it.
God, you fucking millennial.
I think at this point it's also a Zoomer term. Sorry.
Zoomer Gen Z.
It's a Zoom. Yeah, sorry. Be old, motherfucker.
You're not fair at the terms.
Oh yeah.
Notes, raw, fire.
Yeah.
Click off the
I am at least 85% sure I am the biggest Xeno in general nut in this entire server. Like, I've played Xenogears, all of Xenosaga, all the Blade games. Like, yeah, I was probably the biggest hype for this one.
You played all of Xenogears?
Yes!
All right.
That second disc is not as bad as you'd think. Xenosaga 2's second disc is worse, though. Okay, but the game itself. This might be one of the most solid JRPG casts, period. Like, there is so little fluff when it comes to just the main party. Senna comes close, but is thankfully just enough to stay out of fluff, and it's entertaining enough, too. I love Ionios is just, I love the world, like, the whole, endless conflict thing. just leads to some good, area ideas and the towns, and also the different colonies and how they interact, especially as you go further in the game and they start interacting more once the war starts dying down.
Ace, what about Manana for fluff?
She's got a place. Well, especially after she learned how to cook after an update.
Oh yeah,
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
yeah. Which makes me both upset and proud of myself. Oh, I've been wasting some money on Manana. Wait, that means to do everything without our help. Screw you! I don't need you.
But yeah. So like Noah and Mio just make for really good dual protagonists. And like they actually kiss. Oh my god, they kiss. Oh my god, the relationship went somewhere until it didn't. But later. But story
Until
wise,
the story said no.
yeah. In terms of like the actual story, on the one hand, I feel like Xenoblade 1 has a better story consistently, but the highs for 3 are so high. And I think I cried so much throughout the story. Like, I full on ugly cried in the ending. I don't remember the last time I did that. For
I mean-
gameplay, I like a good class system. And being able to cross-class skills onto other classes to make them, to add some more depth to them. Though the best part is the drip. I love the drip. But it just means that, one person's party will probably look very different to another person's at the end of the game. And while there might be like a very best build setup, there's so many different combinations and ideas that's you can make more or less anything work.
I mean, what was the name of the class with the flag?
Signifier.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's the best class. It's a pure buffer, and I love it. But
Also,
I
you
li-
hear that, Ace? Pat, what's up? I bet me to you.
yeah, okay, that is one issue. But yeah, it's just over. Yeah, I'm finding it hard to like talk about it too much because I think over time I just started to like, do I like a game? Yes or no? Sometimes I just find it hard to just talk about a game in detail. I'm not a reviewer for a reason.
It hit me. It hit him in the
Yeah.
feels.
Yeah, it hit hard. It hit me right in the heart. Like it's just maybe it's not the best out of all the Xeno games, but it's just great.
I find addition to the collection.
Yeah, very much so.
Addition to my, I will take it with me.
Yeah,
I would show this to my parents.
yeah, maybe I don't know. But
With
yeah,
anime,
it's
you
my
never know.
game of the year. Just emotions.
These games.
So now on to Tempo, your number one.
Okay. So, without saying the title, I just want to say it is a great step in the right direction for the series.
I know immediately where.
I
There are 3 games that came out this
It
year that can
is
qualify.
Not exactly open world, but it's open zone. You know,
Oh no. Oh no.
you could
Wait,
say it's the
wait.
very first open zone Sonic. No, it's the very first open zone Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is Legends
yeah.
Arceus.
Yeah,
Where's,
okay.
where's Sonic? Where would you put that if you could go up
I
to
put
number
that
10?
at 5.
Yeah, you put it at 5 would be.
I also put that at 5.
What's the point
know
that
what,
you put
Chris?
that if you already knew it wasn't?
Chris,
Because
I
people
thought for
have
a minute,
short-term attention spans.
Chris, I thought for a minute you were gonna say security breach.
Sure.
That was last year.
Anyways, Monster Hunter, right?
But yeah. Game Freak actually shut the fuck up and let us discover things. Arceus hit me the exact way that everyone else got hit by Breath of the Wild. Like I love that you don't get railroaded through the game. You're not cut off from anything. Usually, like you might not be able to make a jump or climb a certain cliff, but you can go anywhere as long as you can figure out how. You don't get locked out of places. If you can make the jump, you don't need the fish to swim you somewhere. If you can Skyrim your fucking Weirdeer up the cliff, you don't need
Yeah.
Sneasler to climb.
Yeah.
Do you like Breath of Wild yet, though, Chris?
Give me a chance to play 2, and then I'll tell you.
Okay.
Give me 5 months to make the review. That'll convince us.
Oh, fat chance.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that. I'm not a reviewer either.
Well, Chris, I think another thing that makes Arceus Arceus great is the fact that it's a Pokemon game that's actually designed as with single player in mind. It doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need another person to do everything. Those
Because-
trade evolutions you had before, they put a link cable as an item in the game. I
Yeah.
don't need you to trade with me.
You don't need to worry about don't need to worry about IVs either. That's gone. It is the first Pokemon game that actually has a good move tutor, and you can actually You can actually forget moves.
As much as I love all of that, I just wish you could battle other people. But I understand the battle system does not work for player versus player.
It was not designed for PvP.
Not at all.
Which works to its strengths as again a single player Pokemon game.
Yes.
And not like the kind of single player Pokemon games like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which is just
Yeah, we're
entirely
talking
different kind.
mainline here.
Yeah. So I hope that they actually do more games like Arceus, or where they just come up with more single player mainline Pokemon games.
Dude, if Scarlet and Violet had been closer to Arceus than what they are now, they would have been so good.
Right. And
Right.
then
Have you talked about God of War?
It could also be Final Fantasy. He played that this year.
It's God of War, you
Ace.
know it.
Ace, you're an asshole. I had a bit lined up. I'm so
You did.
angry.
That's-
so
we know you too
angry.
well.
Yeah, tell me
Well,
what.
now-
Talking about God of War, why is Game of the Year? Should have won Game of the Year. Go on, do it.
So it should have won
Boy.
Game of the Year, but I'm not a sore loser, so
Yeah.
How many awards did you win
Sure.
this year?
Yeah. Who did you steal best soundtrack from?
Sonic Frontiers.
from Master
It
Duel,
should have
thank
been
you.
nominated.
At least.
Okay,
God of
so
War fanboy over here.
Okay,
Oh.
let do a thing now.
Let him
Joke-
cook. Let him cook.
jokes aside, okay, so I'm fully aware God of War got a lot of awards at the Game Awards this year, but in my humble opinion, it deserved every single one of them. Ragnarok is such a stellar piece of media in general. Like the story is exactly what I wanted from it. This was, I think, the only way that they could tell the Ragnarok story that they wanted to. The relationship between the characters is so much more than what it was in the original. Like it in God of War 2018, Kratos struggles with trying to connect with his son. In this game, their relationship is so tightly bonded together. Now Kratos has to cope with the fact that he may have to let his son go out on his own, and like the whole game just has so much character and charm. Every single character you meet has some sort of arc at some point, whether that be the tiniest little thing or throughout the entire game. The combat has been improved in every single measure. Like jumping off of a platform and slamming down the blades of chaos into an unsuspecting mook is the most satisfying feeling you could ever have in the universe. The areas are tightly designed. I love going around the 9 realms and just exploring these new places that we didn't get to see before. And it does the Miles Morales thing better than Miles Morales did, where it reuses older areas, but it does that so well they feel like new areas that you've never explored before. The boss fights in this game are absolutely fantastic. If you
Yep.
just want an idea of what every single boss fight, like in terms of tone and energy, you want a perfect example of how that is.
Thor. Just Thor. And this, I pretty sure I counted like maybe 5 times where I teared up or actually went into full on like busting tears. That's how much of an emotional impact this game made on me. It was well worth the 4-year wait, and I cannot wait for where Kratos is going to go next. Preferably, I would rather not have him fight Jesus like everybody wants him to.
No, he's gonna team
Uh,
up with Jesus to go overthrow God.
I would rather have him team up with Jesus to go to Japan.
Oh.
But we'll see. Like
Buddy
I
road
know
trip.
I know they said that this is the last game in the Norse, like in the Norse saga, but I don't think they're entirely done with the Norse realms just yet.
I mean,
But
God of War is still continuing, right?
Yeah.
yeah, God
It's
of
too
War is
big
gonna
to
still keep
not
going.
be continuing.
Yeah, it's still too big to be going, and I know there are a couple of people that are like, well, Kratos' story is over at this point. No, Kratos' story has just begun, if the ending of Ragnarok is anything to go by. So, if you have if you have a PS4 or a PS5, you don't like. I will fully admit you don't need a PS5 to play this game, and I actually didn't talk about my. I only have one problem with Ragnarok. The Einherjar enemies can suck my dick. They
Oh no, you got
my god.
Bifrost on you.
I
Enjoy them with a good time.
hate the Einherjar. And they throw like there's a side quest at the end of the game where you're just going around fighting nothing but Einherjar. It is the most annoying shit. But other than that, like please do yourself a favor. Play God of War 2018 first and then play God of War Ragnarok and you will not be you will not be disappointed.
So, which pantheon is he taking down next?
My guess is either he's gonna go back to Egypt because he did go to Egypt in the prequel comic, or we're gonna go to Celtic mythology. I would love to go to Celtic mythology.
I would again Cuculon as sort of a rival character. I'd be all for.
Is that Celtic or?
It's Celtic.
I believe it's Celtic. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I believe that is everybody now at this point. So good discussion for this year, and it didn't go overly long. We still went under 2 hours from this one, so nice.
Yeah, I think this is
Oh, someone else
one of
jump
our
in,
most
we can
calm.
stretch
Yeah,
this
I
out.
think this is
Well,
the
to
fastest
be
we have
fair-
ever gone through this by far.
I think also because it started out with just 4 of us,
Yeah.
and with 4 of us, we weren't just talking over each other. We're just like, yeah, say your piece.
And then we just
Pop off,
invaded.
Queen.
Actually, I have an idea, real quick for me.
Yeah.
If we have
Oh,
time.
He's
Jesus.
gonna plug.
No. Oh yeah. I forgot to plug. Anyways,
He's gonna floss.
what if I said I did? How about this? I set a timer for let's do 3 minutes, and then I just get to say my piece in every single game I played. How about that
Alright.
this year?
Speed
All
run,
right.
go.
Speedrun, go! Okay, alright, what I got on the list first? Alright, I finished Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 3. I finished 3 too long RPGs. That's all you can ask of me. Don't ever ask me for anything more again.
My favorite
Fuck! Okay, good games. Kirby and I were Dreamland. I finally played that game. I played the original Adventure, but not that one. It's a solid remake. Kirby 64, I finally finished that game. Fuck some of those shards. Kirby the Forgotten Land, great new 3D Kirby game. I can't wait to see where it goes next. Splatoon 3 Octo Expansion is probably my favorite DLC campaign I played for a game. Then Splatoon 3 came out, and I made that my personality for like the whole summer, even before release. And Sonic Files Divine Initiative, that was a fun time. It's a cold. I love playing my Switch on the bed. That's one of the only games I do it with. Klonoa 1, that was an alright time. I hate the worst part about that game is actually the fact that if you're going down a river and you jump, you can't jump backwards. You're stuck in your fixed position when you
Ain't that
jump with
shit?
the. Who designed that? Go to hell. Anyways, Freedom Planet 2, that game's pretty awesome. My favorite Sonic game of this year. Spark 3, that game was also really good. My PC wouldn't let me play it anymore. Sad face.
Yep.
And 2, finally finished that game. I got that as a Christmas gift a while ago, but never finished it. Finally finished it this time. That's great. That's a fun game. Let's see, Pokemon Violet. I did not expect to like that game as much as I did. It'd probably be like it's legit actually one of my favorite games I played this year. Yeah, I love team building. I already see myself wanting to play that game again to build a different team because there's so much variety of Pokemon in that game. The story is actually pretty good. That's the best final boss in Pokemon, by the way. Silent Hill 2. Yeah, that's probably the best survival horror game I've ever played so far. Just that game's actually a masterpiece. And Metal Gear Solid 2 Rising Revengeance. I also finally played that game. That was a fun, quick time, another great action game. Sonic Adventure 2, I did a replay of that game since last time I played the game I was in middle school. Still a fun time, had a good time with it. Sonic Frontiers, it was one. It is in one of those. No, hold on. It is one of those games that unfortunately can make my personality out of derogatory. Sonic Heroes, just regular derogatory, even though the game's alright. Sonic Advance, Sonic Advance, yeah. Sonic Superstar remake. I didn't bother getting all the Chaos Emeralds. I'm sorry. Pokemon Heart Gold. That's it. Solid course Pokemon experience. Doing the bug catching shit kind of broke me mentally, but that's okay. Donkey Kong Country 1 with Tevi and Donkey Kong Country 2 with Tevi. Those are fun playthroughs. I think I was being held back a bit skill wise during, but it's fine. My favorite bit of that whole LP series was the whole stupid ass Rambi bit. And and then I think the last game I played was DMC 5. Probably the best character action game I've ever played. That game was actually pretty perfect. Yeah, that's about it. I have 5 seconds left. Anyways, the best Big Time Rush song is actually worldwide.
And on
that's gonna
that
do it.
note, that is a wrap on our Game of the Year discussion for 2022. Thank y'all for
Fucking
watching.
Genkies.
We'll be back with more Pokemon tomorrow night. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.
Wait,
Oh,
Pat,
oh.
before, can I plug my video?
No, Sophie did it. Moving
2 minutes,
on.
otherwise we hit the 2 hours.
No, I have not that video, the other video.
Okay, do it, quick, go.
Yeah. So tomorrow around 10 o'clock, I am going to be releasing my next video talking about Ocarina of Time. So keep an eye out.
All right.
That's
Now,
it.
good night,
That was a
everyone.
2
Bye.
minutes.
Heavy,